The alarm clock screams, it's 5:30 a.m., another day begins, the city sleeps, but you're already racing the clock. Coffee in hand, you rush through a crowded commute. Work starts before sunrise, emails and deadlines pile up. Lunch is a sad desk salad, squeezed between meetings. You're always connected, always available. The sun sets, but your work doesn't stop. Exhaustion sets in, but you push through. There's always more to do. You're told to hustle harder to make your dreams happen. But at what cost? The cycle repeats. Wake, work, repeat. Weekends offer little relief, you're tethered to your devices. Social media is filled with entrepreneurs bragging about their grind. Behind the filters, the pressure to achieve is relentless. Burnout is worn as a badge of honor. If you're not exhausted, you're not working hard enough. But this constant pressure erodes your mental and physical health. Relationships fray at the edges as you struggle to keep up. Hustle culture crept in, disguised as ambition. Social media became a highlight reel of achievement, fueling endless comparison. Entrepreneurs and motivational speakers preach sacrifice and busyness as worthiness. The more we hustle, the more worthy we're told we are, but this pursuit leaves little room for rest, reflection, or joy. Technology keeps us tethered to work, blurring boundaries. Productivity apps and constant connectivity turn every moment into a task. The very tools meant to free us now amplify our exhaustion. Underneath the hustle is FOMO, the fear of missing out. We chase validation and achievement, addicted to the dopamine hits, but left feeling empty. In sleek offices, ambition fuels long hours and constant competition. The line between work and life blurs, leaving little room for anything but the climb. The gig economy promises freedom, but often delivers endless hustle. Flexibility masks long hours, unpredictable income, and relentless self-exploitation. The pressure to excel seeps into every field. Students, artists, athletes, social media amplifies comparison, driving anxiety and burnout. Balancing ambition with self-care is essential for true success. The body isn't built for non-stop hustle. Sleep and health are sacrificed. Chronic fatigue and illness become the price of relentless productivity. The mind bears the brunt. Anxiety, indecision, and depression set in. Burnout leads to detachment and a loss of joy. Life becomes muted, as if viewed through a grey filter. Hustle culture erodes relationships. Partners feel neglected, children feel neglected, friends feel neglected. Conversations become transactional, moments are missed. The simple act of being present is lost to the demands of work. Over time, the dream of success loses its luster. Achievements feel hollow, fulfillment remains elusive. We question if the sacrifices were worth it as our values fade. Disillusionment sets in, replaced by a longing for something real. The realization comes slowly, a wall of exhaustion, cynicism, or anxiety. The body and mind demand attention, forcing a reckoning. This painful moment marks the start of reclaiming your life. In a world that glorifies busyness, rest is radical. Rest isn't laziness, it's essential for well-being. True rest allows us to repair, recharge, and reconnect. Giving ourselves permission to slow down is an act of self-care. Rediscovering simple pleasures nourishes the soul and restores balance. One of the most insidious aspects of hustle culture is its tendency to narrow our focus, to define our worth solely in terms of our professional achievements and material possessions. We become so consumed with climbing the career ladder, accumulating accolades, and checking off items on our to-do lists that we lose sight of the things that truly matter. Our relationships, our passions, our connection to something larger than ourselves. Breaking free from the grip of hustle culture requires us to redefine success on our own terms, to build a life that is rich in meaning and purpose, not just a resume filled with impressive titles and accomplishments. It means prioritizing our well-being, nurturing our relationships, and carving out time for the activities that bring us joy and a sense of fulfillment. This might involve pursuing a passion project that has been languishing on the back burner, reconnecting with nature, volunteering in our communities, or simply spending more time with the people who matter most. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and aligned with our values. A life that nourishes our souls rather than depletes them. Like a tide turning, a quiet rebellion against hustle culture has been steadily gaining momentum. What began as whispers of discontent, murmurs of exhaustion shared among friends and colleagues, has erupted into a collective roar, a resounding enough echoing across social media, in workplaces, and in the very fabric of our lives. The human spirit, pushed to its limits, is beginning to push back, demanding a more sustainable, more humane way of living and working. This backlash is fueled by a growing awareness of the high cost of hustle culture, both on an individual and societal level. We're witnessing a mental health crisis, a rise in chronic illness, and a deep sense of disconnection and disillusionment, particularly among younger generations who have borne the brunt of this relentless pursuit of more. The cracks in the facade of hustle culture are becoming impossible to ignore. The carefully curated images of success and fulfillment on social media are being challenged by honest conversations about burnout, anxiety, and the struggle to find balance in a world that demands we be constantly on. This growing awareness is translating into action. Individuals are setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and opting out of the rat race in favor of more meaningful pursuits. Companies are beginning to recognize the importance of employee well-being, implementing policies that promote work-life balance and discourage after-hours emails. A cultural shift is underway, a slow but steady movement towards a more humane and sustainable way of living and working. One of the most significant aspects of the anti-hustle movement is the call to redefine success on our own terms. For too long, success has been narrowly defined by external markers: the size of our paychecks, the titles on our business cards, the number of followers we have on social media. This narrow definition of success has left many feeling empty and unfulfilled, even as they achieve the very things they were told would bring them happiness. The anti-hustle movement challenges us to look beyond these external markers of success and ask ourselves what truly matters. It encourages us to define success not by what we acquire, but by how we live our lives, by the impact we have on others, and by the legacy we leave behind. This might mean prioritizing our relationships, pursuing our passions, giving back to our communities, or simply living in a way that feels authentic and aligned with our values. It's about recognizing that true success is not a destination, but a journey, one that is marked by purpose, meaning, and a deep sense of fulfillment. The post-hustle world values well-being over wealth, connection over competition, and purpose over prestige. It's a world where we are free to define success on our own terms, to create lives that are both personally and professionally rewarding, without sacrificing our health, our relationships, or our souls in the process. At the heart of the anti-hustle movement lies a simple yet radical concept: the power of enough. In a culture that constantly tells us we need more money, more possessions, more accomplishments, embracing the concept of enough can feel like a revolutionary act. Embracing enough means rejecting the scarcity mindset that fuels hustle culture, the belief that there is never enough time, never enough resources, never enough success to go around. It means recognizing that we already have enough time, enough resources, enough within ourselves to live full and meaningful lives. It means setting boundaries around our work, our time, and our energy so that we have the space and capacity to pursue the things that truly matter. It means saying no to obligations that drain us and yes to experiences that nourish us. It means giving ourselves permission to rest, to recharge, and to simply be without feeling guilty or inadequate. The power of enough lies in its ability to free us from the relentless pursuit of more, to break the cycle of striving and allow us to find peace and contentment in the present moment. It's about recognizing that true abundance comes not from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. It's about choosing to live a life that is full, not just busy, a life that is rich in meaning and purpose, not just accomplishments. We began this journey by immersing ourselves in the frenetic energy of hustle culture, a world of perpetual motion, where rest is for the weary and burnout is worn as a badge of honor. We witnessed the toll this relentless pursuit of more takes on our bodies, our minds, our relationships, and our very souls. But we also glimpsed a different path, a path of resistance and renewal, a path that leads us away from the tyranny of never enough and towards a life of greater balance, meaning, and purpose. Reclaiming our lives from the clutches of hustle culture begins with reclaiming our time, that most precious and finite of resources. It means setting boundaries around our work, our technology, and our commitments, carving out space for the things that truly nourish us, our passions, our relationships, our connection to nature and to ourselves. It means learning to say no without guilt or apology, to prioritize our well-being over the demands of a culture that tells us we must constantly be on, constantly striving, constantly proving our worth. It means rediscovering the lost art of rest, of allowing ourselves to simply be without judgment or expectation. This journey of reclaiming our lives is not a selfish one. By prioritizing our own well-being, by setting boundaries and embracing enough, we create ripples that extend outward, inspiring others to do the same. We begin to dismantle the systems that perpetuate hustle culture, creating a more humane and sustainable way of living and working for ourselves and for generations to come. As the sun sets on the era of hustle culture, a new dawn is breaking, one that illuminates a different path to success, a path that values well-being over wealth, connection over competition, and purpose over prestige. It's a world where we measure success not by the size of our bank accounts or the titles on our business cards, but by the richness of our lives, the depth of our relationships, and the positive impact we have on the world around us. This new definition of success is not about lowering our standards or settling for mediocrity. It's about redefining what it means to live a fulfilling and meaningful life, one that is aligned with our values and aspirations. It's about recognizing that true success is not a destination but a journey, one that is marked by growth, connection, and a deep sense of purpose. It's about embracing our humanity in all its messy, imperfect glory, recognizing that our worth is not contingent upon our productivity or our achievements. It's about creating a world where we are free to pursue our passions, nurture our relationships, and make a positive impact on the world without sacrificing our health, our happiness, or our souls in the process. As we move forward, let us carry with us the lessons we have learned from the burnout generation. Let us remember the importance of rest, the power of connection, and the transformative potential of embracing enough. Let us create a world where success is measured not by what we consume, but by what we contribute, a world where well-being is not a luxury, but a birthright. Let us usher in a new era, one that celebrates the fullness of human experience, an era where we are all free to live, to love, to create, and to thrive.